You're watching CTOM TV. Knowledge is power.
So now we have a question from Iris. Is there a conspiracy hiding a cancer cure? What's your opinion on that, Alex?
Well, I hear that a lot. And I mean, as we know, we know a lot of people in the pharmaceutical industry, and some really great people. And some of these big pharma companies are incredibly helpful with providing free drugs and free testing for patients. They're huge contributors to patients in general. So, and of course, pharmacy workers and their families get cancer too, at the same rates as everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The conspiracy, I think, it comes from a place where, we've thrown so much money in research at cancer. There's so much going on, and we're still having such a hard time with it. And I think what most people don't understand is the infinite complexity of cancer and the genetics of it. We have 25,000 genes. Each one of those genes can be, hundreds, sometimes 200,000 base pairs long. And when you get when you get a piece of DNA that's only 150 base pairs long, the possible permutations and combinations of mutations just in 150 base pairs of DNA alone it's larger than all of the atoms in the known universe based on hydrogen atoms. So there's so many possible mutations that are unique to every person. It's just going to be a really hard disease to treat.
Okay. So what you were saying is the concept of conspiracy really comes largely from people not understanding
the complexity of cancer.
The complexity of cancer. Yeah. It seems like it should be maybe like type 2 diabetes.
Right.
That it should be, okay, we understand the mechanism now. Why don't we have a pill for this? But really,
it's the infinite complexity of genetics and DNA that is the problem.
The fact that it's truly a disease that is unique in each individual.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that is the problem, isn't it? A lot of people don't understand that. And, the reason why I think we don't understand that so well yet is because genetic testing is still quite new. And
2006.
Yes. And cancers are still largely diagnosed based on location.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives us the impression that, okay, there's breast cancer or there's lung cancer, and therefore, that's all there is to it.
Every case of cancer is unique. Every single one.
That's right. And as we've talked about before, you can have certain mutations in, say, prostate cancer that are more commonly found in breast cancer or things like that. So yeah, it is pretty complex.
It is.
Yeah.
I've seen patients with completely radically different cancers that had almost very, very similar genetics. But that was, of course, just the genes we looked at. We didn't look at all of the genes.
Right.
We looked at 400 or 500 genes, and that's it.
And that is a good point, is that the genetic testing that's available right now for cancer looks at, the two of the best tests on the market look at between 350 and 550 genes out of 25,000.
Right.
Now, having said that, those tests almost always turn up some really excellent treatment options for people. So don't despair that we can't look at everything just yet. There's still great value in genetic testing.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that's important to consider about the conspiracy theory thing, really, if that's something that you're really thinking is a possibility, is the magnitude of the conspiracy that would have to exist in order for that
to be pretty big.
All pharmaceutical companies and their distributors and researchers from whenever this cure was found and hidden till now would have to be. It's kind of like,
and the concept that there's one cure for cancer is very ridiculous.
Yeah, it is when you understand.
Yes. That there is a cure.
The genes, when you understand the genetic component. And so if somebody around you is talking about that there is a cure and they just don't want you to know about it, remind them about what you learned here today about the complexity and the genetic component and how cancer really is unique for everyone.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's like saying that there's one personality in humans.
Yes, right, exactly. Yeah, you'd have to have a pretty big view to see that. We all eat, we all sleep. That's about,
Yes.
Yeah. Good question, though. Thank you for asking that, Iris. It is an important thing to discuss and for people to understand why that isn't the case. Mm-hmm. And if there is going to be a cure for cancer, it almost certainly won't be one It'll be a number of different targeted therapies or a number of different immunotherapies. Right? That's
Mhm.
kind of where
Mhm.
where it's headed now.
Mhm.
And many cancers are getting to the state where they can be cured and people can remain in.
Or treated.
Yeah, well,
Treated.
treat
Not
treat.
necessarily cured, but
Okay,
treated.
I understand you don't want to use that word. I get it. So they can be made gone from your body and
Dealt with.
not come back for a very long time,
Yes.
if at all.
Durable responses.
Durable response is what the scientists say. They don't like that word cure. I get it.
Thank you for watching Cetome TV. Subscribe below and stay informed.